Hey everybody, Mr. Supply Chain here with my good friend Mark Manning from iTrace Technology out in California. Mark and I share a common interest in a big issue facing supply chains, which is product provenance. Really knowing where the things that you buy came from, where they were made, who's handled them. We had lots of problems with counterfeiting and black market products and product diversions. You know, some folks look at that and they treat that as sort of a marketing problem, a brand protection problem. It's a legal issue. But one of the things that Mark and I share is a belief that this is really a supply chain problem. That knowing where your products have come from and where your products are going to and maintaining control of that has to be something that we design into our supply chains. So Mark and I have been talking about supply chain provenance in general for a couple of years and putting together tools and frameworks and highlighting technologies that are useful to help companies do that, including the technologies that each of us work with in our own companies. But what is different right now is Mark and I are talking about the issues with our collective response to COVID-19 and the potential risks that that's creating for supply chains and how that's really highlighting the need for people to pay attention to this issue of product provenance. Mark and I have a framework that we've built over the last couple of years, and we've given this talk at several conferences now. We thought, you know, really this was a good opportunity to take our thoughts, take that tool and share it more broadly with the community so that folks know that it's there and that you can incorporate it into your decision making in your supply chain design. You know, we've talked about some scenarios where we've really got concerns about what happens right now if we're not paying attention to provenance. What are the sort of the short-term risks and the long-term risks?
Yeah, so right now, obviously everybody is in a rush mode to try and create as much personal protective equipment, safety equipment as they can for the fight against the COVID-19 virus. And it's an admirable effort, and there's a lot of product out there that's being crowdsourced. There's people producing product in their homes, which is fantastic. The challenge is that there's a big rush to meet a short-term demand here, but this virus and this need for the personal protective equipment is going to have a long tail on it. And that product that is being produced today by people all over the country using their 3D printers or, you know, sewing materials at home and people putting together things to help the fight, that product can end up in the supply chain for a very long time. It's going to end up in hospitals. It's going to end up in warehouses. It's going to end up, you know, being shipped to different organizations. And the provenance of that product is going to become important as time goes by. And it gets more important the longer the time goes by and the longer the tail is on this thing until the supply chains are all you know, back up and running and supporting the demand in a natural way.
So an example would be, let's use that 3D printing of face masks. So somebody comes up with a design for a face mask, they share it, and a whole bunch of people start to 3D print it.